Welcome to my Action Research virtual poster presentation by Jen McCabe. My problem statement: Teaching Visual Arts in the Classroom Grades 1 to 3. During my teaching block, I observed the lack of visual arts lessons for students in elementary school. Visual arts was scheduled once a week, but during the 6-week block, it was only taught once. This is an issue for both the students and teacher, where the students are not fully experiencing the arts and the teacher is not meeting the expectations of the arts curriculum. Students are missing out on a subject that allows them to be creative and express themselves where they cannot in other ways. The goal for teachers is to see the importance in teaching these skills such as creativity and expression that benefits the students. I want to research ways that teachers can include visual arts lessons into their classrooms, ensuring that students are experiencing it on a regular basis. My research question is, how can I ensure that students are learning visual art on a regular basis in order for them to be creative while meeting the arts curriculum expectations? This question is targeted specifically at the primary grades where I was placed for my teaching block. A few definitions that will help to understand the research are: visual arts. The arts created primarily in visual perception as drawing, graphics, painting, sculpture, and the decorative arts. Curriculum: the courses offered by an educational institution, a set of courses constituting an area of specialization. Arts curriculum expectations: the expectations in the arts curriculum are organized into 4 strands: dance, drama, music, and visual arts. The knowledge and skills described in the expectations in these 4 strands will enable students to create, understand, respond to, and appreciate a range of works in the arts. Aesthetic education: it is the incorporation of the arts across the curriculum in a way that fosters a heightened awareness of and appreciation for all that touches our lives. I chose 4 journal entries to use during the research. The first is Teaching the Arts as a Second Language, a school-wide policy approach to arts integration by Martin. This article compares teaching the arts to teaching a second language. There is evidence showing that the arts contribute to student engagement and academic learning. The author suggests using the arts as a second language approach, which integrates the arts into core subjects and uses the arts skills continuously from grade to grade, building on what has already been learned. When students are learning a second language, they need to start with the basics and build their vocabulary while using prior knowledge, with regular practice and exposure to the language. In order for this to occur, students need to first practice the art skills before using them in core subject learning. In the end, the conclusion was that if we want students to make connections with the arts curriculum, it needs to be taught on a regular basis like core subjects. This article relates to my research question because it shows that the arts can be integrated into other curriculum, but the right steps need to be taken by teachers and students to be successful. The second journal entry is Seeking a Higher Level of Arts Integration Across the Curriculum by Soteropoulou Zormpala. The research paper conducted at the University of Crete, Greece, focuses on aesthetic teaching. The author observed that when other subjects were integrated with the arts, there was a large emphasis on the core subject and less on the arts. Participants that were chosen for the study were in-service kindergarten teachers. The 2 stages of the study were teaching through the arts and a way to approach a taught subject. Teachers were given observation sheets to complete as part of the data. The teachers taught several lessons integrating the arts with mathematics, with lessons on numeration, having students use drama and music elements. Findings of Teaching Through the Arts stage were that students were engaged and stayed on task. Findings of A Way to Approach a Taught Subject were that students were able to retain the information they learned a month later, and students that did not usually participate were engaged in the activities. The research and conclusion prove that the arts are an important piece in education which not only students enjoy, but can benefit from. This is important for my research question because it is proven that arts integration is effective and possible. The third journal entry is The Arts and Elementary Education, Shifting the Paradigm by Holzer. This article describes the research conducted through the Lincoln Center Institute in New York City. The main focus of the article is to emphasize the importance of the arts in education, introducing the arts in elementary school and continuing through high school. The article defines aesthetic education as integral to the development of persons, to their cognitive, perceptual, emotional, and imaginative development. The Lincoln Center Institute developed capacities for imaginative learning, which includes 9 different elements to promote imagination and combine the teaching of the arts. This method was first taught in high school, then in elementary education in institute-focused schools. There is evidence that it could be used in any subject area, with students being able to connect capacities such as noticing deeply and asking questions in other subject areas such as science and math. This article proves that it is necessary to cultivate imagination in students from a young age and to continue that growth throughout their education. The 4th journal entry is Rethinking an Elementary Arts Method course, a model of 3 visual arts integration strategies by Bay. In this study, it speaks about the importance of arts education for pre-service teachers so they can integrate the arts into other subjects. The main focus is on visual arts and determining what pre-service teachers learned in an advanced level arts course in university and if the course suits their needs once they begin teaching. 3 questions that this article focused on were: what did participants in my elementary art methods course, current pre-service and in-service elementary teachers learn? How did these participants apply what they learned to their lesson plans and teaching? What do findings suggest for improving this elementary arts method course? There were 7 participants altogether, with data being collected through interviews, lesson plans, and notes. The findings were that the areas participants learned the most from were integration, learning through visual arts, and learning how to apply art methods and knowledge. Examples of this were integrating art with science by asking students to make drawings of the planets, and when teaching a math lesson on tessellations, the students created the tessellations using polygon shapes. It was also suggested that elementary school teachers did not value the arts as an important part of the curriculum because they weren't necessarily making meaningful connections to visual arts. Ways of making these connections include teaching students to appreciate the arts, talking about the art and what they have created, and making connections to everyday life. There needs to be adjustments made to arts courses for pre-service teachers if we want them teaching the arts in a meaningful way and integrating them into other subject areas. This article was helpful for my research question because it helps me understand why there is little focus on visual arts in education. Extended research and studies have been done on the importance of the arts in education, according to Holzer and Soteropoulou-Zornpala. Martin states that growing evidence suggests that using the arts in the core subjects can have significant impact on academic engagement. Students need to develop their imagination and creativity, which is beneficial for their education, and yet, not all students are taught or get to experience the arts, either as an individual subject or through integration. This may be partly due to the fact that teachers do not think that the arts are important in education, according to Bay. In the end, the article stated that it is possible to integrate the arts into the core subjects. More teacher training in the arts is needed in order for this to happen and for teachers to have an understanding of the arts in order to teach it effectively. Studies have been done showing evidence that the arts are beneficial for students and that teachers can integrate the arts with other subject areas. A study by Soteropoulou-Zornpala found that students who participated in arts-integrated studies were engaged, creative, and focused on the tasks. The study also found the benefits of the arts included students being able to retain their learning a month after the activity and students who didn't usually participate being involved in the activities. Winter states that when we integrate the arts, we allow students to think more deeply about concepts, make personal connections to subjects, and learn flexible thinking. The term aesthetic teaching is associated with arts integration. Soteropoulou-Zornpala argues, it could be said that in these situations, art encourages children to learn while they are creating and to create what they are learning. The study she conducted had teachers trying different activities integrating mathematics with drama and music. Through these activities, students were able to experiment and be creative. When searching for a possible reason why teachers are not spending sufficient time on the arts, the answer may be that they do not have the education and training needed. In a study conducted by Winter, it was found that after pre-service teachers complete an arts course, they will be more willing to teach the arts in the classroom. In conclusion, each article makes the point that the arts are important and necessary in developing students' imagination and creativity, which in turn have academic benefits. The research conducted by Holzer shows that the capacities were developed to promote imagination by combining the teaching of the arts with other subjects. It is evident from the literature that it is possible to integrate the arts into any other subject area when teachers have the right resources and training. In my action research study, I will suggest that teachers begin by integrating the arts with subjects such as math and science, which were seen in the article by Bay. My research action plan.